guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to do my 1 month postpartum update. Annabelle is asleep in my arms right now, so I didn't feel like moving her, and Doug's in the shower, so she's gonna be in this video. Not that you guys care, because I feel like the majority of you guys have baby fever. But anyways, so I kind of wanted to go through like what's up with the breastfeeding situation, because I kind of made like that random vlog of me ranting about how breastfeeding is the hardest thing in my life, and yeah, I wanted to give you an update on that. I also have notes here because I seriously forget everything. I also wanted to talk about like how my body is, because a lot of you guys asked me, I don't know, weight loss, how's my scar, and like, I don't know, I guess postpartum symptoms. So the last video I made in regards to postpartum like topics was about breastfeeding. If you haven't seen that one, I will link it somewhere here and then also down below. But I basically just kind of like did an impromptu video talking to you guys about how, I don't know, breastfeeding was just not going well for me. I didn't feel like I had a high milk supply. I didn't know what the cause of that was. She also was kind of like a lazy sucker, and yeah, basically she lost too much weight within like the 3rd week. So we had to start supplementing with formula. There's a few things that I realized I didn't mention in that video that a lot of you guys were asking or even just like assuming in the comments. So I kind of wanted to like talk about those things. Okay, the first thing, when I hired a doula, I talked to you guys about how I hired a doula to help me with the latch and stuff. She actually is a certified lactation consultant. It's like the ILBC or something like that. So she is that. A lot of you guys were just thinking she's just a regular doula, but I did hire her because she is a lactation specialist. So yeah, I wanted to throw that out there. The other thing that I didn't really mention is like pumping. So a lot of you guys were saying that I should just like pump my boobs and give her my breast milk in a bottle. The thing that worries me, and I know a ton of you guys were saying that I shouldn't be basing my milk supply off how much is coming out into the pump, because that's not a good depiction of your milk supply. Just because your baby like sucks out more than like the pump can, because your body knows it's a pump and it knows it's a baby. You have to like trick your body into thinking the pump's a baby. It's so weird. This whole experience has taught me so much, like seriously. But anyways, so I have been pumping every 2 hours. I kind of like dwindled off because, I don't know, I'll go into that in a minute. But basically, for a few days I was pumping every 2 to 3 hours. A lot of times it was 2 hours, but sometimes she would just like feed for a long time. So I'd skip a pump, or I'd like, I don't know, push it back farther, which is annoying. Because if you set yourself on a schedule, like it's just gonna go to crap, especially if you have a newborn baby. So anyways, my pumping output was seriously not good, and I know, like, I don't know, right when you have your newborn, it's not going to be the best. You're not just going to be, well, for a lot of moms. Some moms, they just have a bunch of milk right up front, and other moms, like, just, it takes your body a while for it to build up its supply. Basically, when I pump my boobs, I barely get anything. I get like half an ounce if I'm lucky. And I don't know if that's because she's feeding all the time and my body is just like draining itself of its milk, but that's just not enough for me to feed her my milk in a bottle, so that's why I have to supplement. Luckily, I am only supplementing with donor breast milk, and my doula or lactation consultant, she's actually also a midwife, she's everything. She actually helped me talk to some women in my area and get like donor breast milk, which at first I was like, that's kind of weird. Feeding my baby someone else's breast milk, but now that I've done all my research on it, as long as you have a credible source, like the woman is healthy and she's not doing drugs, obviously, or I don't know, stuff like that, then it's safe to give your baby. Not to mention, the women I actually got the breast milk from, I met them in person, I drove to their house, and they didn't charge me. They gave me all of their breast milk for free, so I feel like if a woman is, I don't know, just like passionate enough about breastfeeding and like doing things holistically, because those two women hired a doula, then I really think their breast milk is safe. And yeah, I'd rather give my baby breast milk than obviously formula. And I do want to just throw this out there. A lot of you guys were assuming that I'm like so against formula and I think it's terrible. I don't know what it is, but after I had Annabelle, the thought of giving her formula just kind of scared me, because I just don't know. I'm just not well versed in the stuff that's in formulas nowadays. I know it's in obviously my own breast milk, it's like the best for the baby, but I do know that a lot of women formula feed, and honestly I might be one of those women after today, which I'll go into later. But yeah, I might have to formula feed her, so I'm not knocking it. I might have to do it myself, but I did want to give it a good try before I switch to formula, especially since I am like, I am kind of a stay-at-home mom. I work from home, but I make my own hours. So I do understand why a lot of women have to go to formula because they work outside the home, and it's not like feasible to be pumping your boobs every 2 hours if you're at work or something. So since I can do that, I just felt like I really needed to give it my all. Ever since I made that video, I've been trying to stick to a strict pumping schedule. I've still been breastfeeding her with the SNS system, but I just don't feel like my supply is increasing. So as a last resort today, actually in a few hours, I'm going to a breastfeeding support group. I swear breastfeeding is like a whole new world. I had no idea that it was this like strenuous for so many women. Not all women, but a lot of women have trouble with it, and they make, I don't know, breastfeeding or trying to breastfeed when it's hard makes you really emotional, and it's just like, I don't know, not being able to provide for your baby like from your own body is something that I never thought would affect me so much. But so I'm going to a support group, and they're gonna do a weight check on Annabelle. So I'm going to weigh her, or they're going to weigh her before, I think without all of her clothes on. Well, maybe they might keep her clothes on, and then I'll breastfeed for an hour, and then they'll weigh her after. The thing with that is I don't know how accurate that is, because I feel like sometimes she has better feeds than other feeds. But Doug did that the other night. We used like my dad's meat scale. It goes up to 17 pounds. I know, I seriously sound crazy, but I was willing to do anything. And I honestly don't know how accurate like that scale was, but she barely gained anything from my breast milk. And I don't know if it's the scale or if it's all in my mind. I seriously feel like I'm going crazy. And I don't know, so many of you guys, there's like hundreds of comments, so thank you so much first off for like giving me all your feedback. I read every single one, and even if I can't respond to every single one like I usually do, because I like seriously type with one hand since I'm breastfeeding her all the time or holding her, I really appreciate it. I've looked up every link you guys have sent me. I've done so much research. I'm like obsessed. A lot of you guys were saying that I need to not stress, because obviously stress affects your milk supply, and for the first like, I don't know, I think weeks 2 and 3, I could not help like but stress. Like I tried everything I could, but now that I'm a month postpartum, I feel like I just need to let it go, and whatever happens, happens. I need to just trust that everything happens for a reason, and as long as I give it my all and like try my hardest to breastfeed, if it's not going to work out, then I'm not going to like ruin my family life just because I feel so depressed about breastfeeding. And I'm sure so many of you guys watching this video who aren't pregnant have no idea what I'm talking about, because I swear before I got pregnant, I didn't realize like how much breastfeeding impacts a mother. It is insane. So I'm probably going to sound crazy to a lot of you guys who aren't mothers yet, but yeah, so basically I don't want it to affect like my relationships with my family because I'm so stressed out, and I know that she feeds off my stress, so I'm going to try my hardest, because I'm sure if I get bad news at the lactation or the breastfeeding group today, I'll probably be upset about it, but I can't like let it affect me for weeks on end and go into like a spiral because of it. It's just not the best thing. I should be enjoying the time with my baby and not stressing about breastfeeding as much as I was. So yeah, I feel like I'm coping with it a little bit better, and I'm kind of coming to terms with the fact that if I don't create enough breast milk, I'm gonna have to either supplement or formula feed full on. So it is what it is, and thank you guys so much for your support. It really means a lot. And I am gonna vlog today, so I'm gonna give you an update on how the breastfeeding support group is going, so stay tuned for that video tomorrow. So yeah, that's everything with breastfeeding. The next thing I wanted to talk about is my body postpartum. I don't know, I feel like I'm not losing as much weight as I should be, and I know like so many of you guys are going to say you should be eating a lot and increase your caloric intake because that helps with breast milk production, which I totally have been. I've been eating a lot. But I think that because my body, this is in my head, I don't even know if this is true, but my theory is that because my body is just like, I don't know, she's either not sucking out enough breast milk, because she's a really lazy sucker, like she just like munches on my boob and doesn't like suck it, and I think it's because she was born so small. So I think because I'm not transferring enough breast milk, I'm not losing as many calories as like an exclusively breastfeeding mom would be now that I'm a month postpartum. So I still have 15 pounds to lose, which isn't a lot, and I feel like I could do that on my own anyways. But yeah, I definitely still don't feel like 100% back to myself since I am heavier than I've ever been. So yeah, that's my body so far. As far as the C-section healing, I didn't really go into that because I don't know why, I think I just forgot. but it was really rough the first few weeks. I think I talked about it a little bit in my 1 week postpartum video. I couldn't get out of bed very easily. I had to have help, and it was also hard to breastfeed, so I think that contributed to everything and all my problems with breastfeeding. But yeah, so I am feeling 100% myself as far as like the healing. The only thing I can say, which maybe not 100%, but it is still a little bit sore, like, or not sore, it's a bit numb, like around the incision. When I touch it, it kind of just feels like, you know when your foot falls asleep and you touch your foot and you feel your hand touching your foot, but it's just like a weird feeling. That's like the feeling on the bottom, or on the below my incision and above my incision. So that is annoying, but I'm sure that'll go away with time, I'm hoping. It doesn't really bother me though. My incision is like way below my underwear line, so I'm happy about that. I kept telling the doctors like in the operating room before they were about to cut me open, I was like, make it low, because I do not want to show it, or I do not want it to be shown in like a bikini. Not that I'm ever going to be wearing a bikini probably for the next year, but I was like, don't make it really visible. So they were like, don't worry, we'll make it really low for you. So yeah, basically it's pretty low, and it's not as noticeable as I thought. It's still a pretty, I don't know, it's a cut in your abdomen. Like, it's not going to be pretty, and it's not going to be small. Okay, so this is my stomach for 1 month postpartum. I wore leggings so I could show you guys. I'm pretty happy with how it like shrunk down. I feel like it still has some more shrinking to do, but yeah, this is what it looks like. And you get like, I don't know, apparently your stretch marks get darker right after you deliver your baby, and then they lighten up. So yeah, I did end up getting some stretch marks right here, just 3 little ones, which are annoying, but like I said, I don't really care too much. And I'll show you guys, if I can, the scar. So yeah, this is what the scar looks like. It's from here to here. And yeah. So apparently it takes 6 to 8 weeks for your uterus to fully contract back. So I'm sure my stomach will look a lot smaller in either 6 to 8 weeks, which I'll try to do a video and show you guys what it looks like then. But I feel like it's not as big as I thought it would be. The week after I gave birth, I was like, oh my god, my stomach is like so big. It still looks like I'm pregnant, but it went down a lot. And it is still annoying because I don't feel like 100% myself, but I'm not even honestly worried about my stomach or my body. I don't think about myself or what I look like. All I think about is breastfeeding. So that's how my body is right now, and I'm still eating normal-ish. I'm not like trying to lose weight or anything like that. I'm just trying to eat as healthy as I can to breastfeed. I have been using a Belly Bandit wrap, and that thing has helped me so much. I feel like it's really helped shrink back my stomach, and I will leave the link below to the one I got. I got it in a size extra small, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of just guessed, and I'm not normally extra small. Normally I feel like I'm a smaller medium, but I got a small size because that's just like what the measurements were on their website, and basically their website told me to get extra small. So when I first put on the wrap, it did not fit me. Like, it could barely, like the Velcro on the front could barely close. But after the first week, I was using the hospital's wrap, the one that they gave me, but after the first week I ended up using the Belly Bandit, and it's so much better than the one you get at the hospital because I just feel like it tightens your stomach a lot and also gives you really good posture, so I really liked that. So the other thing I wanted to mention is that I'm finally, I know this is so TMI, but it's a postpartum update, so what do you expect? But the bleeding down there has finally stopped, and now that I say that, I don't want you guys to think my incision is bleeding, so it's like period blood coming out, but it's not period blood, it's like blood, I don't know, it's just like draining your body of all the blood that it was producing, because apparently you have like 50% more blood when you're pregnant running through your body, I believe. So yeah, it took like a long time for me to not have to wear a pad. It was so annoying and gross. I'm not like into pads, usually I wear tampons, so having to wear a pad, I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks. Oh, I don't know. So I'm so glad to be like feeling myself. I haven't got my period back, which I don't think that I should be getting it back. At least I think for the first 4 months if I am exclusively breastfeeding, but if I do stop breastfeeding, I think I get my period back. So yeah, I haven't gotten that back, but it is so good to not have to wear like panty liners or anything like that. It's so funny because after this whole experience and like, I don't know, I just feel like I was so not prepared to give birth or just to have a baby. And I know that sounds like, I don't know, it kind of sounds dumb because obviously no new mom is really that prepared because she's never done it before, and there's no preparation that you can really do because you have to like have the baby on your own and you've never done it before. But with that being said, I was just so not knowledgeable about like birth, breastfeeding, and we did go to like a class, but it's just nothing compares to doing it like yourself the first time. And I think next time for my next baby, I will be just so much more cautious about things. I think I might even hire like a midwife, or not a midwife. I might hire, because I don't think I want to have one at home. I still think I want the epidural, especially if I have back labor again, because that was terrible. But I don't know. I just think that I want to hire like a doula to coach me through like the pregnancy and the birth and like post-pregnancy with the baby as well, because it's just like so invaluable to have someone that knows everything. And I know my mom's a nurse and stuff, but she's not like that well versed on how to take care of a baby that much, and you know, birthing and stuff. She'd never like, I think she worked actually in the labor and delivery ward like back in her 20s, so it's been a long time. But I just think having like someone that's an advocate for everything you support, so maybe like not having a C-section if it's not necessary, or you know, I don't know. The one thing that annoys me, and something that no one told me in the hospital, was that the first few days when Annabelle was born, they formula fed her, because I think I mentioned this in my breastfeeding update, but they did end up having to formula feed her because she was dehydrated. And if I had had someone that was more knowledgeable on the subject, we could have like spoon fed her my colostrum rather than formula feeding her, now that I'm looking it up. And that might be like the cause of everything. So I don't know, I just heard that basically if you start formula feeding your baby from the get-go, your milk supply like decreases a lot, and she gets nipple confusion, and it's all this stuff. So it's just annoying to me how like I didn't know anything, and I wasn't about to like look things up on Google in the hospital, just because obviously you're gonna take the pediatrician and the nurse's word for it. But I just feel like a lot of times they do things the easy way, and it's not necessarily the right way, at least in my situation. I know they're not all like that. But yeah, I just wish I had someone that knew more, and someone that could coach me through everything. So the only other thing I wanted to talk about were a few things that I've been using pretty much like every single day throughout the past month. So the first thing are some like nursing tanks and nursing bras. Those have been a lifesaver. So my favorite ones are from a brand called Bravado Designs, and I will link below these exact ones. It's gonna be hard for me to do this with one hand, but I'm just gonna hold them up like this. So the first one is like this black one. And I really like it because it has like obviously a little clasp in the front, so you can unclasp it to breastfeed, and you don't have to take off your whole entire bra, which is really annoying. And the back is like super durable, or not durable, it's like really sturdy. So if you have like big boobs, it's going to give you a lot of support. It has like 3 clasps, and it's also like a really comfy material. So I got this black one. I also got this really pretty like baby light blue one. And the other thing I got was this nursing tank top. It has the same exact concept as the bras. So it has like a built-in bra, and it also like unclasps right here. So this is just like a white one. Also has like pads built into the bra, so like your nipples don't pop out and they don't show, which I know, again, it's TMI, but everything in pregnancy is TMI, and I don't even care anymore because most of you guys are moms or like pregnant women watching my videos. So yeah, that is really helpful, and it's also like a stretchy material, so it is a little bit flattering, and it has like a supportive like band around the bust area to keep you, I don't know, just to keep everything in place, if you know what I mean. The next thing I wanted to quickly mention is my favorite nipple balm, which you absolutely need. Bring it to the hospital, have some at home, because I've already gone through an entire tube, and this one is my favorite one, so I wanted to mention it. This is from a website called Fairhaven Health, and I will link this one below, but this one's called Nipple Nurture Balm. It's organic and it's lanolin free. It's from a brand called Milky's, and this stuff looks really weird. If you open it, it's like this really weird lime green color, and it doesn't have the best smell. It kind of just smells like Vaseline or something like that. But the reason I like it is because I don't think I've tried anything more moisturizing than this balm. It really does help with cracking and dryness, which can happen, especially the first week if you've never, well, it happens I think pretty much with every new mom, especially if you don't know how to latch your baby on correctly, which can happen a lot. But I also like it because it is organic and lanolin free, so it's safe for your baby and it's safe for the mom. So yeah, I love this stuff. They also have a really nice breast pad, which I don't have with me right now, and I don't really need it because my boobs don't really leak anymore, but the first week having like a nipple pad or a breast pad is really helpful, and that one was called Breast Pad Ever, so I will link that one below because those came in handy a lot. The next thing that I kind of talked about already in a vlog, but this is a baby katan, and ever since the vlog I've been using this more and more, but I really like this because as you guys can tell, it's like a baby wrap. This one's like in a really cute nautical print, perfect for spring, although I don't really know if this will fit her in the spring because it's I got it for her to like wear when she's a newborn. So yeah, I really like this one because I can wear her around the house. Like right now I could be wearing it, but I wanted to not have it on the video, obviously. But I do like it because there's a bunch of different ways you can wear it. My favorite one is like the kangaroo style because she's like right near her womb, which is her, I don't know, she just likes being near her womb, I found, with newborns. And then there's a bunch of other ways you can wear your baby, but it's really comfortable. And I got this one in a size extra small too, which I'm not gonna lie is a little bit snug, but I feel like it's perfect for her because she was on the smaller side. But definitely make sure you like measure your body before you order one of these things because it is really annoying if you do get the wrong size. Although this one fits her right now, so yeah, I will link this one below. The last thing that I've been using a lot, especially when people come over, I obviously don't cover myself for breastfeeding if it's just Doug and I, or Doug and my mom or something, but when other people come over, I love to use this nursing cover, and it seriously has the prettiest like floral design. I will go ahead and insert some pictures of like what else you can do with this because there's other ways to actually use this. You can use it as like a car seat cover, you can use it to like swaddle your baby up and use it as a blanket, and they have really cute patterns. I feel like everything I have for Annabelle is like rose printed. I don't know how that happened. I think it's because her middle name is Rose and people just went with it, so I just have a bunch of stuff sent that's rose patterned. But yeah, so this one's really pretty. It's also a really soft material and it's really comfortable to wear, and I don't really feel like it's an eyesore. I just feel like some nursing covers just look like aprons almost. They have like I don't know, those ones are cute too, but I like this one because it kind of looks like a poncho that you would wear yourself. Like it looks like a sweater or something. So yeah, I love this one, and I will go ahead and link that one below. So that's it for this video. If you guys liked it, then give it a thumbs up below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you are new, and we will see you in our next video. Bye guys!